Hello, my hardworking students. Today we're going to look at angles in polygons. This is a full lesson. Let's get started. So first of all, before we even try to find interior angles in polygons, let's just look at what polygons are. What do they look like? How do we identify them? And think about each one of these shapes and write the name of it. Because it's very important to know the names of these shapes in case you get a question where instead of giving you the number of sides, it just gives you the name of the shape. Then you should be able to identify how many sides we're talking about, and you can go from there and calculate the amount of degrees that are inside the shape. So pause the video now and I'm going to give you the answers in a bit. And now here are the name of these shapes. I have given you regular shapes, which means all the sides are equal. So next activity. What you need to know before we start this polygon lesson is that the sum of the angles inside the triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, if you are not familiar with this, you should have looked at a video before and a lesson with angles in a triangle. But if you haven't done so and you only started from this point, then the angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And this is the most important piece of information that you need for this lesson in order to be able to find all the other angles inside all the other polygons, okay? So that's the most important, the fact that the angles in a triangle, which means that if you take this and that, if you add them up, they're going to give you 180. So if you put them next to each other, they're going to be sitting on a straight line like that, okay? So if you put all of those angles together, they're going to be something like this. They're going to be one of them here, one of them here, one of them here. You can see that they make 180 degrees. Okay, that's the proof that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Now, knowing that, we can look at this shape and we can say this shape is a quadrilateral, and if we divide it into two triangles, it gives me 180 degrees here and 180 degrees here, which means that the sum of the angles inside a shape that has four sides, which is a quadrilateral, is 180 times 2, which is 360 degrees. Okay? And in here, when you think about shapes that have this amount of degrees inside, if you think about quadrilaterals, can you name a few of them? Ready? Okay, so you have parallelograms, you have rectangles, you have trapeziums, kites, rhombuses, deltas or arrows. There's quite a few shapes that have four sides, okay? All of those shapes, if you ever have to find the angles inside it, or if you just need to find a missing angle, you have to remember, if you divide them by two triangles like that, the sum of the angles is 360 degrees, okay? Next, this shape, we're going to also divide it into triangles. And we have to divide it into the minimum number of triangles. So you can't do this. You can't divide it like that and then like that and then a few more, okay? You can't do that. You need to, because then it's confusing. Because if you do that, you're also counting the angles inside the shape. So what you need to do is pick one corner, and from that corner you have to draw lines in order to make the minimum number of triangles. So if you do that, in this pentagon, this is a pentagon, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Yeah, so if it has 5 sides, it's a pentagon. So this pentagon has 3 triangles. Yeah, so it means when we want to calculate the angles inside it, we do 180 multiplied by 3. And that should give us about 540, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 540 degrees. It means this angle plus this one and this one should add up to 540 degrees. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Now, pause the video for a few minutes. Try to work out how much the angles are inside each one of these shapes. So what I would suggest you to do is get your book, draw the table, and then go back to this, and let's just see. So a triangle has 3 sides and 1 triangle. A quadrilateral has, let's just see, because I'm going to quickly divide these so you can kind of see exactly how many triangles and how to divide them. We're going to look at each one of these shapes, and then we're going to find a formula which is going to help you find the angles inside any polygon before you even drew it. There we go. So this shape has 4 sides. Where should we write? 4 sides and 2 triangles. This shape has 5 sides and 3 triangles. This shape has 4 sides. This shape has 6 sides and it has 4 triangles, and so on. This one has 7 sides, this one has 8 sides, and this one has 5 triangles. This one has 6 triangles. Okay, so what I want you to do now is look at the number of sides and the number of triangles and find a connection. Find a connection. What is the difference between the 3 and the 1, the 4 and the 2, the 5 and the 3? Yeah, it's always the same connection. Did you find it? Okay? Yes, you're right. So the difference between these is 2. It means if you have 5 sides, you're going to have 2 less triangles, because you need 3 sides to make a triangle, right? So if you have a shape that has 5 sides, it has 3 triangles. Yeah, if it has 7 sides, it's going to have 2 less triangles. It's going to have 5 triangles. Okay, so that's what you need to know. So basically, if I give you now a shape that has 20 sides, yeah, if I say a polygon has 20 sides, how many triangles would you expect this shape to have? This shape should have 18 triangles. It should have 2 less triangles. Remember, the number of triangles is smaller, not the number of sides. Okay, so if you have a shape that has 100 sides, you should expect to have 98 triangles. And then if you know there's 98 triangles, it means you have to take your 98 triangles and you have to multiply by 180 degrees to find out how many angles are inside this shape that has 100 sides. And this one as well. You need to take your 18 triangles and you need to multiply them by 180 degrees to find out how many degrees are inside a shape that has 20 sides. Okay, so usually we use this in a classroom, but it was a bit tricky to show you the previous video and this one, and keeps changing between them. But this is quite helpful. So if you are able to pause the video and finish this off, so if you have a quadrilateral has two triangles, so you do two triangles times 180, which is 360 degrees. And then once you've done this, you can use this throughout the lesson. Then three triangles in a pentagon, that's 180 times 180, and that gives you 540 degrees. And then if you do four triangles, yeah, so a pentagon has, I think a pentagon has three triangles and a hexagon has four triangles, yeah? There we go. And that's one multiplied by 180, so I think that's 500, that's 720 degrees. And you can keep going like that. Okay, so that's how we find the interior angles of these polygons, and we use this very often. Okay, so we can pause the video and work on this for a bit. Okay, ready? Let's do it. Okay, here we go. So now I'm gonna give you an example, then you're gonna pause the video and do your own thing. And then you see the answers after that. So for this one, this is a quadrilateral. What you need to do here is, I guess you can either start from scratch, or if you remember that a quadrilateral has how many degrees? It has 360 degrees inside, right? So if you don't remember that, you can do from the beginning. You say, okay, well, I'm gonna divide this. It's two triangles, so that's 180 multiplied by 2. So all of these four angles together should give me about 360 degrees. Okay, so what you need to do after that is, because you know all of these four numbers add up to 360 degrees, if you add the three numbers from here, you should get less than 360. So let's just do that together. We're gonna do 70 degrees plus 88 plus 45. Okay, and let's see, and we're gonna plus those. And that should give me 5 plus 8, 13, 3, carry 1. And 8 plus 8 plus 4 should give me 20, so 203 degrees. So you know that these three angles here add up to 203. So what you need to do is see how much more do you need from this one to 360. So you do 360 degrees minus 203, and that should give you, let's see, 7, 5, and 1. So 157 degrees is the size of this angle X. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now, if you understood what you need to do, pause the video and start working. If you still need a bit of help, I'm gonna do one more example for you, and then I'm gonna give you the answers. Okay, so let's see, which one should we do? Let's do this one. So here, this shape, we're gonna see how many sides. So there's two ways you do this. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides. Yeah, 6 sides means it has 4 triangles. If you're not sure how many triangles it has in this particular example, you can just divide the shape. But it's easier for you to do it without drawing the shape. If you don't draw the shape and you do 6 sides equals 4 triangles. And it means the angles inside should be 4 times 180 degrees, which should be 720 degrees. 720. Okay, so you can do that, or you can divide your shape. Let's quickly divide it so we can see. If you don't know for sure, you can see how many triangles. You count them, you see there's 4 of them, and then you get to do this. So it means you should have, inside the shape, you should have 720 degrees. Okay, so now we have to add up all of the ones that we know, and obviously we should get less than 720. so we can find the difference after that. So we do 120 plus 110 plus 130. You can take them in order just to make sure you don't forget one of them. So I did this one and 135. Okay, there we go. The units are 5, so we do 5, and we have 5 plus 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 2, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 595. Then we have to take away, so we do 720 degrees from here minus 595 degrees. Okay, and that's how we find this missing angle from here. And that should give me 5. Borrowed 1 from here. 9 take away from 11 is 2. 5 take away from 6 is 1. Okay, so that should be 125 degrees. Now you should be able to do this by yourself. Pause the video and try to do it. And I'll give you the answers in a bit. Okay, here are your answers. Let's see, it's all the way to N, so from A to F. So basically, you only need your answers up to here. So these are your answers here. Yeah? If you want more of these questions, you can go on Corbett Maths. I'm going to leave you the link below so you can do more if you like. I just thought we're going to do a few of each. Right, so mark your work, and now we look at regular polygons. Okay, regular polygons have the sides equal and the angles equal. Okay, so all of these angles here, they're all equal to x. Yeah, they're all equal to x. And what you need to do in this activity is to find out how much one angle is. And this is much easier because, let's see, this is a pentagon, and we just said that in a pentagon, because it has 3 triangles, it means it's 3 times 180 degrees, which should give you about 540 degrees. Okay, now because the angles add up to 540 degrees, and there's how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so a pentagon, a shape with 5 sides, has 5 angles. So if we take our 540 degrees and we divide by the number of angles, we should get the size of one angle. And you can only do that with regular shapes because the angles are equal. If you don't have regular shapes, yeah, these ones were not regular. See, look, all of these sides have different lengths. So those are not regular, but these ones are regular. So here, you don't need to know the other ones. It's enough to just hear the word regular and pentagon. And then from the word pentagon, you can figure out that there's 540 degrees altogether. And from the word regular, you figure out all of these angles are equal. And because pentagon says there's 5 sides, and that means you have 3 triangles, these names here are enough to help you. You don't even need the image. They could just ask, what is the size of an angle in a regular pentagon? So if you hear that, you should know pentagon has 5 sides, and from there you can start working all of this up. Okay, so if we do this, 5 goes into 5 here once, then 0, then 8. Yeah, so that's 108 degrees. And that's what you do here as well. A hexagon has 6 sides. Yeah, 6 sides means 4 triangles times by 180. You should expect to have 720 degrees. And if you want to find out the size of one angle, you just divide by 6. 6 goes into 0 times. Okay, so one hexagon has 120 degrees. Okay, if you understood what you need to do, pause the video and do the rest of the work on your own. There we go. So 108, 120, and then they go up. Yeah. So I hope you understand what you need to do for this. This is straightforward. If you manage to do this well done, it means you managed to grasp the basics of polygons. Okay, so well done for today, and I am going to see you in the next lesson. And thank you for watching until the end and working so hard to get better at maths. Bye for now.